first month of summer is here, and I thought that it was only fair that I added the lilac flowers to my bullet journal this month, since it has brought me so much joy and had me pull my hair when I had trouble painting them in watercolors. Here we are at the front page, and I'm painting these lovely tiny flowers on their agile branches. I'm drawing 3 branches with flowers, and I'm also adding some leaves to get the whole look of the flower. As I mentioned before, I had a rough time with these flowers when I was painting them in watercolors, but I think I got a hang of it now. If you want to see my mistakes with the watercolors, you can find a link in the description box below. At the top of these flowers are some buds that are almost shaped like tiny leaves due to their trumpet-like shapes that attaches them to the branch itself, and then I draw some flowers on the top with only 3 petals showing of the 4. That creates a more cylinder-formed shape of the total flower and gives the 3D illusion, sort of, I hope anyway. Then I add some more flowers with both 4 petals and 3 petals, and some buds shaped as only small circles here and there, just to fill it up and get more volume on the flower. The leaves are more narrow-shaped oval form and are seated in pairs on opposite sides of one another on a branch. Now that I got the base done, it's time to do some shading, and I'm going to start with the buds, making some more simple lines, and with the flowers I make them a bit darker at the center, and then I draw some lines upwards towards the edge of the petals. On the leaves you can't really see much of the veins on them, so I'm just going to be adding some lines and giving the leaves some texture. For the coloring I'm using 3 pencils here, and I'm using Faber-Castell's polychromes. I find that those pencils are working the best. I'm using 1 light in blue and 2 purple ones. When you can't find the right shade, you have to go and mix it up yourself, and that in itself can be quite fun to do, I think. First I go over the lilacs with a light purple, and after that I add a blue, and at last I go over with the dark purple to do some shading and give the flower that bounce and depth. I use 2 greens for the leaves and 2 browns for the branches. Then I cut off a bit from the first page so that it can show this lovely June with the lilacs. I'm as usual writing June as a background to my second page, where I have the June calendar. I also add my goals and intentions for the month and some important dates. And here, one of the most important dates is Midsummer. And for you who don't know what Midsummer is, well, stay tuned, because I'm going to show you just exactly what it is and what Swedish people do on Midsummer's Eve. Now, Midsummer's Eve is something that we celebrate in Sweden, and it's quite a tradition. Eve is actually stronger in tradition than the Midsummer's Day. Midsummer is actually very close to summer solstice and is celebrated always on a Friday between the 19th and the 25th of June, so the date is never set. Midsummer's Eve is not a holiday as, for example, Christmas or New Year's Eve, but it's treated as one nevertheless, at least in Sweden. So what do we do in Sweden when we celebrate Midsummer's Eve? Well, we gather around the midsummer pole, which has been decorated the night before with birch leaves and flowers from the surroundings. Often the flowers include flowers like cornflower, daisies, poppies, roses, lupins, well, most any flower that you can find around at this time of year. This actually makes it smell really, really nice. On Midsummer's Eve afternoon, everyone gathers around around this midsummer pole and dances the traditional dances like. I'm going to just translate them directly here, so it's going to sound very funny, which they are. They are funny little songs. Little Frogs is one. Priest, Little Raven, We Are All Mama's Pig, We Are Musicians are some of the songs that always are played at this midsummer pole dancing. After the dancing, everyone goes home to eat a midsummer feast, which is always new potatoes cooked with dill, pickled herring, boiled eggs, and to this we have sour cream with chive, and we drink beer and the traditional Swedish nubbe, schnapps. Of course, there's always singing to this schnapps called nubbevisa, schnapps song. And for dessert we eat fresh strawberries with some unwhipped cream and sugar, and coffee of course. Now these foods are so traditional, everyone really has to have them. So often you have to buy the strawberries a couple of days before just to be sure to get one. Now, Midsummer's Eve, there are some magic rites, of course, in the old folklore. These magic rites says that if you wish to dream of the man or woman that you are to marry, you are to do the following. You should jump over, now the numbers vary a bit, 7 or 9 stone walls, and pick 7 or 9 flowers, one from each field, in complete silence at midnight during the Midsummer's Eve. Then you should walk home the whole time in complete silence, and you should put the flowers you picked under your pillow and go to sleep. And in your dream, your true love would be revealed. Whether or not this works, I can't say, but there's also stories speaking of that the flowers are to be some precise ones. Some even says that they are to be picked in a specific order. Another popular fortune spell was that you were to eat something very, very salty, like salted herring or a dream porridge made from flour, water, and a lot of salt. When you were sleeping, your future one would appear and offer you a drink. The beverage of choice would also reveal your state of wealth. In Denmark, they don't celebrate Midsummer as we do in Sweden. Here in Denmark, Midsummer isn't called Midsummer, it's called Sankt Hans. Saint Hans, named after a saint, of course. This, to me, is, when I've read about it, sounds a lot more like the Swedish Valborg, and leave a link above here to a short film about that, so you can go and check it out. But then again, they do differ a bit. Sankt Hans Day is always at the 23rd of June, I believe, and it celebrates the transition for something new, because the days are beginning to grow shorter now. But there's also another thing about this day. Here in Denmark, they burn paper witches at the stake to hold the evil forces away. I can say that I will not be celebrating Midsummer the Danish way with burning witches. I'm going to stick to the Swedish traditions with jumping around the midsummer pole, dancing to the Little Frogs. For each month I have a page where I select a statement or quote from some wise woman who walked before me to inspire me and to kind of set the bar a bit higher so I can aim to be better. This month I've chosen Dolly Parton as my role woman. She said, "If you don't like the road you're walking, start paving another one." Isn't that fabulous? Because we can do that anytime. Just change directions. We don't have to keep walking the same path over and over again. We can choose another one anytime. On the next spread, I'm drawing a huge poppy. This spread is, as usual, for my ideas, so I can write them down when they pop up and later evolve them or discard of them. So hopefully this one will be filled with great ideas. my mood tracker for this month, and I'm going to add lilac flowers whenever I have a really great day. I've divided this month into 4 weeks with 4 wreaths. On the next page is my money tracker, which this month will be represented by a pile of leaves, and more leaves will be added as soon as money is flowing in. And here you can see my weekly spread, where I'm decorating with some cornflowers to divide the days. I'm going to add my weekly tracker below as usual. On the second page will be my weekly menu. On the next spread is my other 2 trackers, for my little one and for my furry ones, so I can keep track on that everyone's hair and fur get brushed as it should. And I also have my social media tracker, which I think I do have to update for next month, because it's not totally working for me right now as it is. But I'm going to keep it this month, so we'll see what happens next month. So actually that's all that I have, and I do hope that you enjoyed this, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in my next episode. So thank you so much for watching, and if you are not subscribed to this channel, please consider doing so, and hit the little notification bells to get notified every time I upload a new video. Don't forget to like the video if you did and share it. Ciao Bellas!